Welcome to the 10-minute no code challenge. The future of coding is no coding at all, according to Chris Bondrath, CEO at GitHub. No coding is a skill we need to learn as effective product people. What are the rules of this video? We're going to be looking at all of the best no code tools there are on the market, and we're going to be building a real application. That means every video we're going to cover one no code app. We're going to cover 4 user stories that I have to build in only 10 minutes. Many of these tools I have looked at before and I have not built anything with. Why have I done that? So that I can replicate what it's really like using these tools for the first time. So one no code app per video. There's going to be 4 user stories we have to cover and I have to build them in 10 minutes. What are those user stories? We're going to build a really simple travel application. I want to be able to view different trips. See the first screen. I want to view the details of a single trip. Second screen. I want to go to the website of a trip. Call to action button. And finally, I want to be able to actually create my own trip and add that to the database. There are 4 key steps of any no-code application. Step 1, we need to build our interface. Right? We need to create a card and an image and a title where the title will go. Secondly, we want to create a database. So that means that where we have maybe a header that connects through to something called a trip title or trip name, for example, in the database. Thirdly, we want to be able to populate that database. If we have trip name as a data point, we're adding some examples of that already in the database, and in our example, also be able to create our own trip names. And finally, we need to add functionality. You need to be able to click through to things, maybe add a search eventually. We need to be able to save a trip when somebody creates it. Today, we are going to be looking at Adalo. Adalo is a really, really nice no-code tool which covers everything that we've highlighted here. And these are actual screenshots from their website. So how we build components, how we link up actions, and how we use the database with Adalo. In terms of where we place this in the market, there are going to be six specific points of value that I think are worth highlighting. At the end, I'm just going to review how I felt the experience was, with a big emphasis on ease of use as well, and how it helped us achieve the goals we wanted, really building those 4 stories. So Adalo is great because we can build mobile apps, we can build desktop apps. It is pretty easy because it is drag and drop in many cases. We can use external data as well, which is great, can really enrich our app. And we can add some custom analytics as well. So we've got everything we need to do with an app. The first app we're building is free. After that, it's $39 per month. It's a really exciting tool to use. That's it. Time to jump in. So we're going to start the timer. I'm going to head over to Adalo, and we are going to build this application live in this video. Right, you're going to see me with a very intense face and periods of silence, and that is all good. It means I'm trying to hit our time limit. Right, let's start with a simple screen. So we need to create our view trip screen where we simply list our trips. What have we got? I want a list of images or cards in some way. Cool, let's start with this element here. We're not going to worry about how it looks at the moment, just want to test functionality really. So we're going to have that nice list of our trips. We're going to have that nice button at the top so we can create trip. Trip in some way. Awesome. Okay, great. So we've got our first basic screen. Now we're going to have to already jump in with the database so we can populate here. So what I've done previously, you see this in other videos, I've got a CSV file with just a few example trips, like the title, description, etc., that we can use so we're not wasting loads of time repeatedly manually creating those. So we've already got a database collection called user. I want to create one called trips. And I am going to upload my lovely CSV file that I've prepared earlier. One mistake we need to make. Before we do so, we need to match create some properties for this. So we need to go through and create all of these. What do we got? We've got trip name. We have a trip description. We have a trip image. We have a trip cost. Location. Trip duration. Oh, final thing we forgot, we've also got a link, so we can link through to their website. Remember that final user story we had. Awesome. So we've got all the data points that are going to now match to whatever we are going to pull in with our lovely CSV file. Good. Everything is matching. Perfect. Excellent. So what I now need to do is make sure that we've got these UI elements. They're actually going to hold some useful info. So let's make sure everything is matching up. What do we want? Title. No, I don't want just the text. Title. We want to pull in the trip. Okay, what's going on here? To make sure that this is probably showing some data. So yeah, that makes sense. So the list itself needs to be pulling in. We need to specify what kind of data we want to be displaying. Awesome thing with Adalo is that it automatically works out many things that we want. So it's already worked out that we want the trip name as the title. Subtitle, a bit more confusing because we are going to show the location in this case. Body, we are actually just not going to have. Just keep it quite simple. And the image, we are going to show the trip image, which it is already doing. Awesome. Excellent. It's showing 3 of them because we've got 3 trips. Now what do we need to do? We need to make sure that this actually links through to something. So that when we go to a new screen, for example, it is pulling, say we've clicked one card, it's going to pull through that specific trip data. What we want to do now, we want to populate this card so that we have all of that lovely trip data. Current trips image, excellent. Now I want some text. And I want this to not show into text. I want this to show our current trips, trip name. Awesome. Again, we're not going to worry too much about the visuals, but it's super easy to edit as well. Adalo is very, very easy. In this case, we are going to pull through the trip cost. We are now going to grab the duration. So we then want the location. And finally, just going to annoy me if I don't differentiate this. I'm just going to make it normal. We got loads of time still. We got loads of time. We've taken 5 minutes to sort of populate this. So to put in our database and to display a trip. So we've covered actually pretty much half of what we want to do now. So what we're going to do here, we're going to remove that default add button. We're just going to send it to the website, right? Nothing exciting for now. We need an action, right? We need to make sure that it actually links through to something. We want it to link through to our website. We're going to go to our database, pull in that link. We could be clever. I can't remember if we did this properly. We did. We can put in that trip link as well. We can link through to that website. So we've got our ability to view a trip. Sorry, to view all of our trips. We can view an individual trip. And now we want to make sure that we actually go and create a new, we're able to create a new trip. So I'm going to link through to a new screen. I want it to have a, oh great, they've got a predefined page they've got loads of them. Awesome. So we want a form, right? We're creating a form with all of that nice input. So we've got a form element. Now, again, we need to start with, okay, what data do we want to pull in? And amazingly, with Adalo, it has already worked out that, okay, if we're going to be creating a new trip, we need input fields for all of these bits of info, which is excellent to see. One little difference, however, I'm not going to worry that the button color is different. We want to make sure that button is visible at all times. So let's leave it for now. We're going to test out how this works. So coming back to our key user stories we're looking for. So we want to be able to view different trips, view the details of a single trip, go through to the website and create my own trip. And I want to test this before we wrap up. And I think we're going to be under 10 minutes miraculously. Awesome. So we populated here, but we forgot our images. Go. So I'm going to go back to my database and I want to manually upload these images. So this is our spa weekend image. Awesome, got a happy little dog on a spa weekend. We have our best beaches trip. So we're going to get that nice hiking image, which looks very nice. Wait for it to upload so we don't have any issues. Awesome. What's worrying me that the upload is not working. So let's see what we can do. Okay, good. So we've said we've uploaded it. I'm going to just save that. I'm just going to refresh and see whether we can hit our 10-minute mark. It's the kind of thing that can be frustrating with no code versus a custom application. Some of these little irritating features. So very quickly, we want to make sure we hit our 10-minute target. Do we have the images uploaded? No. Let's try one. Let's just remove whatever's there. Adalo, you're undermining what has been a beautiful 9 minutes so far. Usually, I've got fast internet, by the way, 60 megabytes. Great, so we've got one image at least. We can test that, yes, that works. Good, so let's test out our preview. So we've got the 3 trips that we created. Let's click through to this fun little weekend luxury trip. We've got our price, duration, the location, description. Can we click through to a website? Yes, we can. It's just a dead link. We can go back and we can create a trip. I'm going to do this very, very quickly. Test trip. Gonna just test an image upload. Again, I know we've got some issues there. Fun times, whatever it is. So it's slow on the image upload. And can we hit our time? Let's just save. We know that all of these things are going to work. Did we make it? We did it. We've got a test trip. And we've just gone over by 10 seconds because of the image problem. But coming back to Adalo, what do we think? Well, we hit all of our targets. We were 10 minutes late, and that was just a couple of small issues with image upload. Again, we'd usually upload that as part of the database, so I don't see that as a big issue. And it's been a really nice tool to use. That was super easy to create those components. They've got loads of things that you just drag and drop. It auto-populated many of them. Creating a new trip was super easy. So we can build great mobile apps, desktop apps, very, very easy to use. We can pull in external data, no problem. We've got loads of nice integrations as well. We could add some analytics so we can see what people are actually doing. And again, it's such a good deal to have it free for that first application where we can really just get up to speed and understand the value of it. So Adalo, loved it. We took 10 minutes and 10 seconds, but I would give this an 8 out of 10 as a great no-code tool.